Greetings and welcome to TFT Tarot for Today, Divine Dabblings with Oberon and Banshee. This is me, Oberon, with Goth Tarot, and it's my weekly exploration into the shadow side of life. And I am here to do this reading. I've kind of revised it a little bit. I'm working with the material from the Tarot Rituals book by Nancy Antonucci, and I used an adaptation of this for the Summer Solstice Goth Tarot episode. Banshee and I have also used it recently for someone in a personal reading, and we like it. The purpose of this reading in terms of Goth Tarot is that I want us to be able to explore collectively some hidden things about ourselves, and ourselves are not only collectively all of us, but our light and dark and shadow selves. And these are things that maybe we are aware of, but at some level we hide them from ourselves, or maybe we are truly not exactly aware of them. So I'm going to use the Shadows or the Secrets Tarot because, of course, these things seem to be secret. And I've used this tarot before for Goth Tarot. I'm also currently using it in another show we do, Your Weird Week, which is on Mondays. Hope you watch that. It's very well placed there. But anyway, so we're going to start off with the hidden aspects of our light self. And so therefore, what we're looking at is what are the aspects of love, trust, safety, joy, things that warm us. How are they hidden from us? How do we not see them or understand them? And the card I have selected is the reversed Six of Pentacles. Are we wondering if maybe we feel we don't love other people enough to help them out sometimes, to give of them, whether it's financially or otherwise? Are we afraid that maybe we are undercutting ourselves in certain ways if we're too generous with others? And, you know, this doesn't really sound like a light side issue other than the fact that maybe it bothers us a little bit. Maybe we feel like there is some form of reciprocation that we want to feel here, you know, or that we want to feel something better about the outcome of that. So then a second card would be, of that, what is the most confusing or bewildering aspect of that? And it's Temperance reversed. And maybe we feel unbalanced or intemperate if we don't feel people can really equivocate exactly certain things with each other, whether it's love and joy, something like that. I'm going to ponder that for a little bit, I think. All right, so now we are going to move on to the other sides, the dark and the shadow sides. See what is hidden there from ourselves. We're working with the shadow self. What is truly unknown here is, you know, our hidden skills or gifts. What are these things that we maybe hide from ourselves and we don't understand, so we maybe just ignore their presence in some way? It's the Four of Swords. Our hidden gift maybe is our own inability to hide ourselves away, to maybe retreat from a very busy, disordered world, to move into our own healing. It's very necessary. But then we have to consider then, why is this feature or these things about us in general confusing or bewildering to some degree, perplexing? And it's the reverse Three of Cups. And I think this says that when we do this, we are sad then because, I'm sorry, yes, it's the Five of Cups, I'm sorry. But when we do this, I think we hope to wait it out in certain respects, to wait for the better opportunity to come, to see the half-drained cups, or however you want to term that, you know, be refilled. And I guess that's confusing because we don't really know how long we're going to have to wait for that, or if in fact it is really coming. Okay, so now I'm going to move on to discovering the dark sides of ourself, and that specifically stands for those things of ours that are about power and desires, and basically our egotist needs, like my own ego of showing my somewhat handsomer, younger self there. I'm just tickled pink over that picture because I couldn't place my hands on it for a long time, and then all of a sudden it turned up. So, what is our dark self's needs hidden from ourselves? And it's the Queen of Wands. No joke. We want to be the star. We want to be the captivating, alluring presence of the Queen of Wands. This could be the most charismatic type of person you know, whether male or female. The idea here of a sense of strong sensuality or even sexuality is present. There's very many things baked into this idea about a charismatic, charming, and possibly seductive, strong personality. And that is our need to be seen that way to some respect. That's our desire. That's where we want to place our sense of power. So then it wouldn't be a surprise then if that some part of that dark need frightens us. And what is it that frightens us most about that? And our friend the Six of Pentacles has returned, only now they are in an upright position. And maybe we fear this because we feel that then we will be giving so much more of ourselves, and maybe selflessly even. You know, that's the Six of Pentacles. So we fear being in that position of having to literally give to ourselves. You know, we don't want to be this sort of avatar for these qualities of charmingness, you know, that everybody wants to be that. And I won't say who, but there's a famous Wiccan author who has said, they told a close friend who is my close friend, who told me that when people approach them at events and say, oh, author's name, you're my everything, you're everything to me, that it sort of closes them down, that they can't necessarily accept some other person putting their sense of agency on someone else. And maybe this is that in a little way, you know, the idea that the cost of being so charming and persuasive and championing, you know, a movement maybe behind us, or having captivated a really following of likers, means we're always in this mode maybe of having to give of ourselves. And who really wants that? We know that the very rich don't want that, and they can give away the most money. But when it comes to this, it's not necessarily talking about our financials that we're giving away. It's really everything. It's the total package of materialism, whether we think about it as our security. I mean, maybe, when we let this many people be enamored of us, there chips away at a sense of our own sense of security and self. Pretty heavy. So just like in other episodes recently of Goth Tarot, I've been given an affirmation, and I'm very happy to be using my wife's real recent Shadow and Light Oracle set by Selena Moon. I think I'll just prop that over here. And it is a quite lovely oracle set, and I think it wants us to I want to use it to give us the idea that there is, reflections on either end of these dynamics, especially for Goth people, because we always are orbiting between dark and light matters. So I'm going to use the Shadow and Light Oracle, give us a closing affirmation or possible shadow work. How lovely. Action, reaction. Here we go. Apparently there's double numbers in these. Here we go. Action, reaction. Might seem like similar concepts, but there is one significant difference between the two. A reaction is an instant, almost impulsive response to something that is happening. An action, however, is a conscious decision made after consideration. Reactions are mostly triggered by emotions, whereas an action is determined after logical thinking. It's the thinking brain versus the emotional brain, and sometimes it can be difficult to distinguish the two. This card encourages you to think about how you respond to different triggering situations. Are you in control of your response, or are you not? If you find that you are not, it might be helpful to take time out when you feel triggered and use both your emotions and logic to find an appropriate response. Ask yourself if your initial thought is accurate and whether it is accurate for you to do anything at all. Reacting can often cause regret, as after we have cooled down from what triggered the response in the first place, we can see the damage we might have caused. It is easier to see the situation in a different light when the trigger has stopped. A helpful thing to do might be to try and find out what the root cause is of those triggers. Can you find a pattern? Are you always triggered in similar situations? Also look back and see what things have helped you to be less reactive. Does it help you to go for a walk? Visualize yourself in a different place? Count to 10 or repeat a simple mantra. Affirmation. I act rather than react. And here's a little exercise. Find your triggers. Take a week or two, and every evening before going to bed, write down the things that triggered you during the day. You can identify those triggers either by the physical feelings in your body or through ways you have reacted that you might have some regret about later. When you have a few things on your list, see if you can find a pattern there. For instance, is it always in relation to a certain topic or a certain person, or perhaps a particular place? Once you have pinpointed what your triggers are, it can help you to choose action rather than reaction when these things happen. So that's what I have for Goth Tarot, and I like that. That was once again the Shadow Light Oracle by Selena Moon, and I used it this time to help out our shadow work, our affirmation. I felt there was something there because I think when we're looking at our dark hidden selves, our ego selves, our needs selves of other sorts, we can be triggered by various things. And so this is a reminder and or, some help in determining how we can kind of get a little more control over that. So I hope that was helpful to you. Please leave a comment if you will, or share and like, subscribe if you haven't already. And this was Goth Tarot, so don't forget to watch our other shows this week and every week when we have the happy hour at Saturdays on 10 a.m. Most of the time. It is 10 a.m. this week. But also my emotional exchanges is Friday mornings at 7 o'clock. Banshee's Material Matters is 10 a.m. On Sundays. Take care, everyone. We'll see you next time.